Meet the latest offering from Hyundai. Now I know what you're saying, and yes, that's exactly what they've done. Hyundai have added a boot to their i10 Grand and launched it as the Xcent. But it's the way that they've done it, it's actually quite commendable. The body style looks complete as a proportionately designed sedan and not really an afterthought experiment gone horribly wrong. If you look at the rear end of the car, it features a nice thin tailgate chrome garnish over here. And what I really like is these wraparound tail lamps. They've got chrome accents in them, but it actually makes it look quite good rather than garish. The Xcent is being projected as a durable, reliable, fun to drive, stylish, feature-rich, spacious, and yet an affordable family sedan. The Xcent is designed to be a comfortable, spacious, feature-rich family car. So let's just examine it from these perspectives. Now to start with, in the true sense of the word, you get keyless entry. The key FOB is in your pocket, no need to fumble with it. Just click on the handle and the sensor over there and get inside. Now, the starting and the stopping of the engine, well, that's keyless too. You just get a little button over here, start, and you're good to go. Now, talking more about the features on the inside, you get a double-din music system, and this has an internal 1 GB memory in it, which means that you can store all your songs in this. It's even got pairing for your phone, so you can make and receive calls right from the system itself. Now all this can be easily controlled through the multifunction steering wheel with the buttons over here. You even get a climate control system. We have to remember that this is the top of the line SX variant, so this is a fully loaded car and you pretty much get everything in this. The glove box, well, it's nice and spacious, but interestingly, it's cool too, a signaling feature first, which means that you can keep your water bottles, and it's large enough to accommodate 1 liter water bottles, and you can keep them chilled during the hot weather that we have over here. What I really like is the electrochromic mirror here, and it's not only just a electrochromic mirror. Tap it into reverse, and what you see is the rear camera display. Well, you get over here itself, so you don't have to look anywhere else, and it's quite helpful for navigating and parking the car in tight spaces. Well, so that takes care of the car's being features rich part. Now let's talk about the space. Well, as you can see, there's enough and more space on the inside, and the cabin feels quite spacious and quite airy too. There's enough and more headroom. And the seating position itself, well, it's kind of upright. The A-pillars are a little steep, but really doesn't affect your visibility too much. But this is a family car, so let's just check out the space in the back. Well, the seating position is nice and relaxed, and as you can see, the seat is adjusted for my height, and still there's enough and more space over here. Passengers at the back, well, they even get a foldable armrest with cup holders, and again, another segment first, you also get rear AC vents to take care of the hot weather. Well, 2 people can sit pretty comfortably in the back over here, but what about 3? The floor is nice and flat, the seats are being recessed a bit. Yeah, I think 3 is pretty much possible, but might get a little squeezy. Another thing you'll appreciate is the large windows over here, and that's largely due to their toning down of the fluidic design philosophy. They're nice, large, and quite practical, and give the rear seat itself, and again, a very airy kind of a feel. Now, any good family sedan has to have another very important thing, and that is the boot. Well, here also, we have to agree that the Xcent doesn't disappoint at all. It's a pretty spacious boot. As you can see, we've got our camera bag, our tripod stand bag, overnighter, and a couple of other things, and there's still space to accommodate even more luggage, and that's because the boot space is a nice and healthy 409 liters. Now let's take the Xcent for a test drive and actually see how comfortable it is. The one that we've got is the 3-cylinder 1.1-litre diesel engine variant, which makes 72 PS of power and 18.4 kgm of torque, which comes in relatively early at about 1750 RPM. The engine feels quite refined and quiet, and lack of any kind of vibrations inside the cabin gets top marks. The gearbox features the short-throw gear shifter, which falls into place with a precise click and is easy and effortless to operate. The gear ratios themselves are spaced out quite nicely for city traffic conditions, and 30 km per hour in the third gear takes no strain on the engine. A nice little feature is the gear shift indicator in the central dashboard, which tells you when to upshift or downshift for maximum efficiency. So now that we know that it's a pretty comfortable car to drive at slow speeds, let's just push it a bit and see how she behaves. It's pretty impressive actually, because you just have to push the accelerator pedal a bit and it responds quite nicely. The acceleration is pretty linear, and that is expected as it develops its maximum torque at about 1750 RPM and the torque remains flat till its red line of about 4000 RPM. The handling too is quite good, and the Xcent corners quite nicely. But what I'm not a big fan of is this electronically assisted power steering. Don't get me wrong, it is very good at slow speeds and ideal for crowded conditions, but at high speeds, I think it needs to be a little stiffer and communicate more as to what the front wheels are actually up to. I do, however, like what they've done with the suspension setup. It absorbs the bumps and keeps the nastiness out, resulting in a very comfortable ride.
Even at reasonable speeds, because of the soft suspension, there is a bit of body roll, but the ride comfort more than makes up for it. And let's face it, this is not really a car you'd like to throw around, but something that takes you from point A to point B in relative comfort, spaciousness. It's got the gizmos, it's got everything that you would probably want in a car like this, and it drives pretty well too.
In our opinion, the Hyundai Xcent is a pretty well-designed car. It caters to all the requirements of the small family and is loaded with features usually found on premium cars. Except for the steering, which could be tuned better for a feel of the road, we found nothing that anyone else could ask for. A well-thought-of, comfortable family sedan, Hyundai seems to have a winner on its hands.